Hey guys, Eddie back with Couch Talk. Welcome back to the show. If it's your first time with me, welcome to the show. Guys, please hit like, please hit subscribe, turn your notifications on. It really helps me out with the algorithm. I promise if you stick with me, I will earn your viewership. Okay, so I know you guys have heard me rail on this war, and you know that I'm an isolationist and I don't particularly like this interventionist, regime-changing, everlasting war that America does. But it's all fun and games until something real goes down, and something real just went down. Okay, so here's the deal. Russia has deployed nuclear-armed warships. They're in the Arctic Circle. It also has started flying the bombers that they typically use to carry and deliver nuclear payloads, and they have started to threaten that if we don't allow peace shortly, that this could come to real blows. And I do not want to see a post-apocalyptic Mad Max world because we were dumb as shit and didn't finally back off from a war that was never any of our fucking business. So we really need to start understanding that we need to get the hell out of this war and let Ukraine go. It is not ours to protect, nor is Taiwan, who literally belongs to the People's Republic of China. This would be another level of interventionism. We would literally be interfering in a civil war. And now there are nuclear arms on the table. Guys, here's the funny thing, right? Has anybody out there in the audience heard this? Has anybody read that this is the case, that they started deploying nuclear-armed warships? No, of course not. Why would you find out about that? That would be bad for morale. That would almost entice one to not want to be in an everlasting war. God forbid, right? That would almost betray the value system that's been designed by the military-industrial complex, which is encouraging all this warmongering. No, instead, what are we focused on? We're focused on some damn air balloons. Now, don't get me wrong, because I don't think that spies should be allowed to operate over American airspace. And I think we should have shot them down. But do I think that should have been the major story? Not with nuclear arms in the mix? Good Lord. Good Lord. All right, and look, this is how, you know what? I've been reading The Art of War lately, and there's a phrase in The Art of War that's very, very classic, right? That everybody probably learns when they begin discussing military strategy, and that is, all warfare is based on deception. But in The Art of War, it was clear that the deception was supposed to be a deception against your enemy, not against your friends. In fact, Sun Tzu was very clear about one of the 5 primary tenets of strong leadership being what he called moral law. And that is essentially a ruler's harmony with his people. At the time, of course, it was only his, although it could be hers, right? And a ruler's harmony with their people is earned by trust, right? I don't feel very trusting of any of the United States leadership at the moment, right? Especially seeing as how it seems like everything that they put in the mainstream media is just a smokescreen, right? It's all just one big game. And meanwhile, they're trying to cover up what really takes place. You know, they've put some spy balloons up on TV. They put some, America intercepted a couple of Russian planes, which, by the way, weren't even in our airspace. They were just in international airspace, right? We really don't have we don't have any right to intercept airplanes for no damn reason, unless we're actually going to fight this war. And you know what? there's evidence that we already have. I really cannot figure out why Russia hasn't declared war on us already. There was a paper that came out by a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist not too long ago who says he has a source that indicated that it was actually United States naval divers that blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. So we have actually delivered a direct military attack on Russian infrastructure. I don't see how it gets any clearer than that. We're at war with Russia. It's just a matter of time before Russia wakes up and realizes that they're at war with us and then launches all 6,000 of their nuclear arms that are probably all pointed at us. Like, I would be willing to bet that 5 of the 6,000 goes to the U.S. and the other 1,000 goes to Europe, and they level everyone. There is no way that we can stop that many nuclear arms. We have got to back down before this gets any worse. It is not our shit to fight. When they get to Poland, if Putin is still going, and I don't think he will. Honestly, I've been doing a lot of research lately, and, this whole time, it's been claimed that Russia is just, crazy, and they always are just making the first move. It's always an unprovoked attack. And I'm not so sure. Now, don't get me wrong, because I think Putin is still crazy. I think he's still a madman, and I think that he's got a warped sense of understanding of the world. But I'm starting to see that the picture is a little bit more gray than it was originally indicated, right? So one of the things that they tell you is that Russia invaded Georgia. That's not exactly true. They were attacked first and Russia went to intervene. So it's a little bit complex, right? They will try to tell you that Russia invaded Crimea in 2014. Again, it's not exactly true. Russia actually already had a base there with, I think, 30,000 military personnel. So it's not like they actually had to invade. They were already there. So it's, there's some shades of gray. Don't get me wrong. I think that Russia is definitely overstepping its bounds with its assaults on Ukraine. And if it came down to it, if we had to support one, I would definitely still wish to support Ukraine. But there comes a time when you gotta let the rest of the world be the rest of the world, right? Like, if it gets to the point where America is literally trying to get involved in every single conflict that isn't in America, then really we are just one big United States globe of America. And I don't stand for that. I don't want America to run the entire universe. I just want them to take care of their own. Can't we take care of America? Is that really so bad? So meanwhile, while we're watching this smokescreen, while we're looking at balloons on TV and America intercepting a couple of planes, meanwhile, Google is censoring any negative press in Poland regarding the war. They are not letting anything go through that might be considered controversial or detrimental to this military-industrial complex war effort. Meanwhile, it is actually illegal in Ukraine to discuss the casualty numbers. Did you know that? Of course it is. Because why wouldn't it be? If you had to tell your people that 100,000 of your own brethren are dead as a direct result of you refusing to strike a very obvious peace deal in the very beginning, and then continuing to neglect to sign that peace deal 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times later, as Russia has adapted and reapplied this peace deal multiple times, and you still turn it down, largely at the behest of America, by the way. Of course, you don't want people knowing that you could have saved 100,000 lives, and actually 200,000, really, because it's not just Ukraine's people that are dying. Russians are dying too. During World War II, Russians gave, I think, 16 million lives to the war effort. That's a powerful resolve, Now, I'm not saying it's the same Russia, but that's a powerful resolve. If you're willing to go down 16 million deep You're in it for the long haul. And believe me, if Russia goes into this war 16 million people deep, there is no way possible that Ukraine can win that war of attrition just by having our military arms support. Just by us giving them some food and medical supplies. That's not going to cut it. We have to actually be in the war if we want that to happen. And guys, I don't think we want that to happen. I think if we get in a war with Russia, then we're going to realize just how fast and just how swift they will bring that war to our doorstep. And it will not be fought on some distant frontier. Those missiles will fall amongst us. And our children will learn of it with their very eyes. We will see the horrors of war, and you will know that this can end mankind. We really need to tread lightly. And we need to stop being this crazy interventionist United States that just has to get involved in everybody else's effing business. I'm frustrated because I'm scared. And if you're not scared, you're crazy. Because this should scare everybody. We should not be heading down this path to war with Russia. Think about who we fought in World War II. We fought Germany, little bitty Germany, and Japan, little bitty Japan, and Italy, little bitty Italy. And they almost won. They almost won. Those itty bitty countries with populations that are immensely small compared to the Allies, that little bitty axis almost took over the world. Now what are we looking at? We're looking at Russia, China. China's got a bigger navy than us. They've got 5th gen fighters. They've got aircraft carriers. They've got more ICBMs than America. Russia's got a greater nuclear arsenal than America. Russia, China, and then Iran, North Korea, Turkey. We're not making it easy on ourselves. We're definitely instigating a fight with the wrong bullies. I'm telling you. I am telling you, this is a huge mistake, and we have got to reverse course. I believe that the military-industrial complex has now successfully infiltrated not only the Democrats, who seem to be, they used to be like the party of like love and peace and make love, not war, and you know all that nonsense. And now they're just like, yeah, let's get them. I'm like, what in the world is going on? And the neocons are right there with it. The rhinos, they're right there in the same boat. The MIC has infiltrated everyone. There's like literally only like 5 or 6 rare old school isolationist conservatives left. And the rest of us are just like, yay, let's go. Let's fight. Bunch of morons. Guys, we've got to reverse course. We are not right in this. It is not right for us to be fighting every war on earth. That is not America's place. We've got to reverse course. And I mean, this is still a game to Russia, by the way. He's lost about 100,000 men. That's nothing compared to 16 million. He'll go to the last Russian. He don't care. He's crazy. If we're not careful, it will go to the last American. It will go to the last Russian. He's firing these K-55 missiles, the same missiles that Ukraine gave him in the 70s, and he's using them as decoys. And then after they engage our ruthlessly expensive air defense system, then they shoot the real ordnance that goes over and does some devastating damage against usually civilian targets, which is ridiculous, by the way. I don't know what the hell Putin is thinking, just striking civilian targets all day long. I don't even see how it could help him, really, other than, to destroy the will of the enemy. But meanwhile, if you're Zelensky and you're not letting even the casualty report be talked about, it's illegal to even discuss it. That's a fascist state, guys. What are we associating ourselves with them for? That's a fascist state. He literally has banned every religion except for one. He has banned most of the political parties except for the ones that agree with him. Guys, I do not like that cat. I don't like Putin. And I don't like Zelensky. I don't like either of them. We need to butt out of this conflict. It is not our business. And we are headed to a very, very dangerous place. Guys, let me know what you think. I'm terrified that my kids are going to grow up in a post-apocalyptic war. I mean, they're going to see a post-apocalyptic world. I mean, it's going to turn into a scrounging for water bottles. I mean, this is nuts. This is nuts. And meanwhile, Secretary of State Blinken is sitting there issuing official warnings to Ukraine saying, oh, if you sign a peace deal that gives up any ground to Russia, that'll be a Pandora's box and then it'll never stop. We are still keeping them from finding peace. We are trying to prolong the suffering in that area so that we can attempt to bleed dry Russia's power. And it's not working. It's not. It is not working. We need to get real about this. We need to wake up. Wake up, America. Wake up. I'll catch y'all next time on Couch Talk, I hope.